In the world of modern research on aging and longevity, there's a name for the people who stay remarkably sharp in both mind and body well past 80. Scientists call them super agers. And what's surprising is that they aren't blessed with rare talent or extraordinary genetics. They aren't leaning on expensive medications or pushing through grueling athletic routines. The real difference comes down to something far simpler than any of that. And here's what most people never realize. It isn't luck. It isn't rare genetics or some secret they were handed that you weren't. What sets them apart is something far quieter and far more within your reach than you've ever been told. Because for as long as you can remember, the message has been the same. Once you reach a certain age, you're supposed to slow down. Take it easy. Accept that decline is simply part of growing older. But some of the most fascinating longevity research of the past 10 years quietly points to the opposite. And once you understand it, you may never look at your daily routine the same way again. The truth is, the things that keep a person sharp, strong, and fully independent at 75, 80, even 85 are almost never the big dramatic things. They're not expensive supplements. They're not punishing hours at the gym. They're small, almost invisible habits, the kind most people quietly let go of over the years without ever realizing what they were giving up. And researchers have started to notice just how much those small habits matter. In long-term studies following thousands of older adults over many years, the people who held on to just a few of these specific daily habits were dramatically less likely to suffer what's called accelerated decline, the rapid loss of independence that sends so many people into assisted living far earlier than they ever needed to. That's not a minor detail. That is the difference between living life on your own terms and living it on someone else's schedule. Now, I want to tease something before we go further, because I know it's tempting to skip ahead. The most powerful habit on this entire list, the sixth and final one, is something almost no one talks about. It has nothing to do with diet or exercise in the usual sense. And yet it may be one of the single greatest forces keeping people clear-minded and independent well past 75. So please, stay with me all the way to the end, because that one could genuinely change how you approach the rest of your life. But here's the part I really want you to hold on to. As we go through these 6 things together, you may suddenly catch yourself thinking, wait, I already do that. If that happens even once, I want you to smile, because it's real proof that you already carry the qualities of the healthiest agers. That is something to be proud of. And if you don't do them yet, that's perfectly fine. Simply becoming aware of them can begin to change your life as early as tomorrow morning. So picture this for a moment. 10 years from now, an old friend you haven't seen in years looks at your face and says, "You haven't changed at all. How do you still have so much energy?" That future isn't built on luck. It's built on small, daily choices, and I'm about to show you 6 of them. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. Drop your age in the comments below, whether you're 68, 74, 81, or somewhere else entirely, and tell me which of these habits you think you already have. I read every comment on this channel, and your story truly matters to me. So pour yourself a warm cup of tea, settle into your favorite chair, and let's count down from number 6 to number 1, starting with something that sounds almost too simple to be life-changing. All right, let's begin with the very first habit, habit 1. They let the morning light in. This is something that energetic, youthful people over 75 do almost without thinking. And it could not be simpler. As soon as they wake up, they open their curtains. They let natural sunlight reach their eyes and their skin right away. You might be thinking, is that really all it takes? But before you brush it off, be honest with yourself about your own mornings. After you wake up, do you lie in bed for a while, letting your thoughts drift? Do you keep the blinds shut and move through the early hours in a dim, shadowy room? Those patterns are far more common than most of us realize. And as we get older, getting that early light becomes harder to do. Right at the very moment, it becomes more important than ever. Here's why the people who keep this habit stand out. Every single morning, through one tiny action, they are resetting their internal body clock. According to findings widely supported by the National Institutes of Health, your body produces a hormone called serotonin, often nicknamed the feel-good hormone. When morning sunlight enters through your eyes, it switches this process on and signals to your brain that the day has officially begun. Then, as the hours pass, that serotonin gradually converts into melatonin, the hormone that lets you drift into deep, restful sleep at night. Do you see what that means? Only the people who soak up enough natural light in the morning are setting themselves up for genuinely good sleep that night. Skip the light, and you quietly invite sleep problems. Poor sleep drains your daytime energy. Low energy lowers your activity, and over the long run, that downward slide can chip away at the very independence you treasure most. People who stay strong and active well past 75 aren't doing anything dramatic to fight this. They simply keep the rhythm. They wake up, open the curtains, and let the light pour in. That one small motion tells the brain, it's time to move, time to engage, time to live. And it doesn't matter where you are. Whether you're looking out over the ocean in Tampa or watching snow settle over the rooftops in Minneapolis, the rule is the same. It doesn't matter if the sky is gray, if rain is falling, or if clouds are rolling in. Just standing near a window is enough to start the process. If you already wake at a steady time and let the morning light find you, that is truly something to be proud of. You're managing your sleep and your emotional balance without leaning on medication. It looks simple from the outside, but it reflects a high level of self-awareness and quiet self-control. So tomorrow morning, try this. Open your eyes and let the light in first before anything else. From that moment, your body begins to reset, and that is exactly where the path to staying youthful truly begins. Habit 2. They start the day with warm water. Now let's move on to the second habit. People who stay vibrant deep into their 70s and 80s tend to begin their mornings not with something cold, but with warm water, close to body temperature. It sounds like a small choice, but it reveals something deeper. It shows they actually listen to their bodies. So think about your own morning. What's the first thing you reach for? A strong cup of coffee? A glass of cold water straight from the refrigerator? Now, staying hydrated is absolutely a good thing, no question. But the people who reach for warm water are the ones paying close attention to what the body truly needs in that fragile first hour of the day. Here's the science behind it. While you sleep, your body temperature naturally drops. And as we age, especially into our 70s and 80s, we lose muscle mass, which means the body becomes less efficient at generating its own heat than it was in our younger years. So if you suddenly flood that cool-down system with ice-cold water, your internal organs react fast. They tighten, they slow, and they work less efficiently. Think of it this way. On a freezing morning in a place like Buffalo or Salt Lake City, what happens if you try to floor the gas pedal the second you start a cold car engine? You strain the whole machine. Your body works the very same way. The people often called super agers understand this, whether through study or simply through a lifetime of experience. So they begin the day by slowly sipping warm water close to their body temperature or just a touch warmer. As that warmth spreads through the digestive system, it gently wakes up the stomach and intestines. Circulation improves. The whole body comes online in a natural, balanced way. Some studies even suggest that when internal temperature rises by about 2 degrees Fahrenheit, immune function can climb by roughly 30%, while metabolism improves too. So that humble glass of warm water isn't just hydration, it's a gentle wake-up call for the entire body. And there's one more hidden gift in this habit. The simple act of heating the water, pouring it into a cup, and waiting for it to cool slightly creates a quiet pause at the start of the day. That pause is a sign of calm and control. It says you're not racing through your morning, you're beginning it with intention. If you already start your day with something warm, that's genuinely impressive. You're protecting your organs, supporting your immune system, and building one of the most powerful defenses against illness, often without even realizing it. Habit 3. They eat protein at breakfast. Now let's talk about food. People who stay strong and steady on their feet well past 75 almost always share one important pattern. They don't survive on toast and coffee alone in the morning. They make sure to get protein at breakfast. This is something so many people overlook. As we age, appetite naturally shrinks. It becomes common to say, I'm just not very hungry in the morning, and settle for a slice of toast and a cup of coffee, or something light and quick just to get going. There's nothing wrong with a light meal, but when it comes to holding on to your strength and your youthfulness, it may simply not be enough. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. While you sleep, your body isn't just resting. It's actually breaking down muscle tissue. So when you wake up, your body is in a state where it's hungry for rebuilding materials. If all you give it at that moment is carbohydrates, your body may start breaking down even more muscle just to produce energy. Over time, that contributes to a condition called sarcopenia, the age-related muscle loss that quietly steals independence from so many older adults. Now take a look at the breakfast table of an active man or woman in their late 70s or early 80s, whether they're in a quiet farmhouse in Iowa or a sunny condo down in Sarasota. You'll almost always find a source of protein, maybe eggs, maybe grilled fish, yogurt, beans, tofu, cottage cheese, or a simple glass of milk. These people understand something powerful. Muscle isn't just about being strong. It's the very foundation that lets them stay independent and keep living life on their own terms. Now, you might feel that cooking eggs every morning is just too much trouble, but it really doesn't have to be complicated. You can boil a batch of eggs ahead of time and keep them in the fridge. You can open a container of yogurt. You can simply add one protein to whatever you're already eating. What matters most isn't the recipe. It's the intention, the decision to support your body instead of shortchanging it. That awareness is exactly what separates the people who keep moving freely from those who slowly lose their mobility. So if you had eggs, dairy, or a plant-based protein this morning, take a moment to recognize what you really did. You protected your muscles today. You invested in your future. Every bite you take in the morning is building something. It's shaping how you'll walk, move, and live 10 years from now. If you're still here with me and you feel like this is genuinely helping, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell me, how old are you and where are you watching from? Do you already do any of these habits? Even a few words from you mean the world to us, and they're a huge source of motivation to keep going. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect moment. Tap that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss what's next. Thank you so much. Now, let's keep going. Habit 4. They use their fingers. The fourth habit might surprise you at first, but from a neuroscience perspective, it makes perfect sense. People who stay mentally sharp as they age tend to do something very small before they ever reach for the newspaper or flip on the television. They use their fingers. Now, you might be picturing something complicated like playing the piano. Not at all. It can be the most ordinary thing in the world, carefully buttoning your shirt, tying your shoelaces, twisting open the lid on a jar, watering the plants on your windowsill or out on the back porch. These are tiny actions that are already part of daily life. At first glance, they seem like nothing. But here's the quiet danger. As people move into their 70s and 80s, those fine finger movements start to feel like a hassle. So convenience creeps in. Slip-on shoes instead of laces. Elastic waistbands instead of buttons. Small surrenders that slowly reduce how often you use your hands. And this is where it really matters. Inside your brain, there's something called the Penfield map. It's a kind of picture of how each part of your body connects to the brain. And here's the astonishing part. Your hands and fingers take up one of the largest areas on that entire map. That means moving your fingers stimulates a huge region of the brain and boosts blood flow almost instantly. In other words, using your fingers isn't just a physical act, it's brain training. It lights up neural pathways and keeps them alive. Research supported by institutions like the National Institutes of Health has shown that maintaining fine motor activity is closely tied to staying cognitively healthy as we age. People who keep a youthful mind tend to treat these little actions with care. When they put on lotion, they take their time and feel the movement of their hands. When they shave, they pay attention to each stroke. When they fasten a button or tie a knot, they move with purpose instead of rushing. They quietly turn these small moments into a way of staying connected to their own bodies. So if you're still dressing yourself, cooking your own meals, or handling small tasks with your hands, that is something to truly appreciate. Your hands are not just tools. They're directly wired to your brain. And even if your movements have slowed down or aren't as precise as they once were, it doesn't matter one bit. Every single time you use your fingers, you're strengthening that bridge to your mind. Habit 5. They use their voice. The fifth habit is one of the most important when it comes to protecting your life. It sounds almost too simple, but its impact is powerful. People who stay strong and resilient as they age make sure to use their voice every morning. They speak to someone if they can, and if they can't, they talk out loud to themselves. What matters is that the voice gets used. Here in the United States, one of the serious underappreciated health risks among older adults is aspiration pneumonia. It happens when the ability to swallow weakens, allowing food, or even just saliva, to slip into the lungs. And what most people don't realize is that this swallowing ability is closely tied to how often we use our voice. The muscles in the throat weaken surprisingly fast when they go unused. This becomes especially important for anyone who lives alone or doesn't get out much. It's not unusual for a whole day to pass without speaking a single word to another person. Hours slip by in silence, and by evening, the voice has barely been touched. Over time, that quiet takes a real physical toll. But people who stay healthy and active do something different. They talk, and they talk often. If they live with family, they greet the morning with a clear, strong, good morning. And if they live alone, they still find ways to use their voice. They talk to the dog or the cat. They answer back to the television. They say a short prayer. They hum an old favorite or sing a few lines they still remember from years ago. Those simple actions are doing far more than filling the silence. They're strengthening the muscles of the throat. They're helping preserve the ability to swallow safely. And in doing so, they're lowering the risk of something as serious as aspiration pneumonia. There's a bonus too. Using your voice helps release stress. When you speak from your diaphragm, your breathing naturally deepens, and that deeper breathing helps calm the nervous system. Anxiety softens, the body relaxes. According to insights supported by the National Institutes of Health, both vocal activity and deep breathing play a real role in protecting your overall physical and mental health. So if you say good morning to a loved one each day, or read something out loud even for a few minutes, know that you're already building a powerful line of defense for your health. Your voice is more than sound. It's a reflection of your life force, so don't hold it back. Let it be heard in your home. Even something as simple as saying, "ah," out loud can wake up the muscles in your throat and bring fresh energy back into your body. Habit 6. They give the day something to look forward to. Now we arrive at the sixth and final habit, and this one may matter most of all. It has less to do with the body and more to do with the mind and the spirit. It's often the very thing that decides whether a person keeps feeling alive and engaged deep into their later years. People between 75 and 85 who still have that unmistakable sparkle in their eyes almost always share one simple behavior. Every morning they decide on one small thing to look forward to. It doesn't have to be big, but it does have to be intentional. Here's the trap to watch for. As we age, it becomes so easy for the days to blur together. You wake up, you think, nothing special today, and you drift through the hours with no real direction. And when that happens, the brain quietly concludes that no new stimulation is coming. So it dials down its own activity. Over time, that pattern can speed up cognitive decline, but the superagers refuse to live that way. No matter how small it is, they plant a flag of anticipation in their day. They give the day a purpose. It might be as simple as walking down to a little bakery in a town like Asheville or Boise. It might be the next episode of a show they've been enjoying. It might be calling an old friend or spending a sunny afternoon pulling a few weeds in the garden. The size of the activity isn't the point. The decision is. The moment you say, "This is what I'm going to do today," and you feel even a flicker of excitement, something shifts inside the brain. That sense of anticipation triggers the release of dopamine, often called the brain's reward chemical. Dopamine sits at the center of motivation, pleasure, and a real sense of engagement with life. Research supported by institutions like the National Institutes of Health has shown that dopamine activity is closely linked to cognitive vitality. In a very real sense, it acts like a natural anti-aging support system for the brain. When someone is asked, "What are you up to today?" and they can answer with a smile because they actually have something planned, that person tends to stay younger in both mind and heart. Because for them, the day isn't something that simply passes. It's something they actively create. So if you enjoy jotting plans in a notebook or checking your calendar in the morning, that's something to appreciate. Even thinking about what you'll cook for dinner counts. It means you're participating in your own life. You're in the driver's seat with your hands firmly on the wheel. And that forward-looking mindset is exactly what keeps your mind alert and your energy alive. That positive intention doesn't just stay in your head either. It flows out to every part of your body, supporting your vitality from the inside out. So, what did you think? As you can see, not one of these 6 habits requires special equipment or a pile of money. They're simple, practical choices that anyone can begin, right where they are, right now. But there's one important thing I want you to carry with you. You do not need to do all 6 at once. Please don't put that pressure on yourself. If even one of these habits made you think, I could try that, or that sounds possible for me, then that is more than enough. That single thought is already the beginning of change. That is the seed of staying young. Maybe tomorrow morning you simply start your day with a glass of warm water, just to see how it feels. That one small step is enough. The moment you feel that willingness to try, your brain begins to respond. In fact, that spark of curiosity and action can bring back a kind of flexibility in the brain that we usually see in much younger adults. Life in your 70s and 80s is not a time of losing everything. It's a time to care for your body, to bring joy to your mind, and to meet each day with intention. It can be one of the most meaningful and rewarding chapters of your entire life. You have spent so many years working hard for your family, for your career, for everyone around you. You've given your time and your energy. You have done more than enough. That's exactly why the years ahead should belong to you. Use this time to take care of yourself, because when you're smiling, when you're feeling strong, that energy spreads to the people around you. Your health and your happiness become a gift to them too. Thank you so much for staying with me all the way to the end. Now I'd love to hear from you. As you listened today, did any of these habits already feel familiar? Is there one you're planning to try starting tomorrow morning? Maybe you stretch by the window each day. Maybe you talk to your dog every morning. Maybe you already have a little routine that keeps you going strong. Share it in the comments, because your words might be exactly what inspires someone else watching, and it truly encourages me as well. And if this brought you a little more energy today, please consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel. I'll see you again in the next one. Take care of yourself.